All right, welcome back to another Epidose of these crazy fools that just eat meat. Can't stop talking about it. My name is Tom, and I've got Joe Zumbo all the way from Sydney, Australia. I got Raymond Nazon all the way from Hot Atlanta. And Brooke is phoning in from somewhere in California. Not quite at the top, not quite in the middle, but somewhere in between.
Where's Brooke?
Where's Brooke?
Where in the world is it?
Sonoma County.
That's right.
She was just telling us about the glorious days of visiting Thailand and speculating on just how good a retreat it would make for a bunch of carnivores. And Mango wants to go. That's Ray's bird. We always hear Ray's bird in the background, so it's almost part of the crew at this point. So
I love that background of the cosmos there.
cresting
Background.
the planet. So anyways, it's getting cold down under, right?
Yeah.
It is. It's heading into winter, and it is getting quite cold over here. We've had a few really terrible days of just, excessive wind and not my wind, but the wind, Mother Nature's wind, and just rain. So yeah, it hasn't been very. We haven't had any cracker days. Let's put it that way.
No cracker days, but there's plenty of beef on the market down there, right?
Heaps,
Right.
heaps. Yeah, there's definitely not a shortage here of beef. I mean, you can get it. The supermarkets are full of beef. The butcher's full of beef. Wholesalers have got it. Like, you don't have an issue getting meat here at all.
What are the prices like?
It's still quite, even though our beef, I mean, we export all around the world. We export a lot to America as well. We pay a lot for meat here. So, I mean, you'd have to work out the conversion rate. I think it's, the last time I checked, $1 Australian will only give me 65 US cents. We work in kilos, you guys work in pounds. If I was to buy a ribeye, 1 kilo ribeye, which is 2.2 pounds, I pay, depending, anywhere between $50 to $60 a kilo.
So $25 a pound.
That's a lot.
So, yeah, we get ripped here. But that's if you buy it from a butcher. Supermarket, it's probably a little bit less than that. And if you go to a wholesaler, it's way less. Way less.
So is cattle rustling a felony there, or?
I'm sure it would be. I mean,
Probably at those values.
I mean, if you get onto the farm, you'd be worried about getting shot from the farmer or some bitten by a snake or a wild dog here. It's crazy.
We see all the vegans running around on the farms in Australia. So why not rustle some cattle?
Yeah, blame it on the vegans.
Just saying.
Did you guys ever see there was a couple of videos of the vegans running onto a farm and just hijacking the farm?
Yeah.
Then there was another video where these vegans rocked up and really pissed off the farmer. So the farmer's gone into his house and pulled out the shotgun and walked up to their car and absolutely scared the shit out of them. Yeah.
I was on my way home from the store the other day, and a bunch of vegans had pulled over. They had an SUV and said some vegan slogan on this painted right on the side, and they're walking around looking at the cows, because you can drive down my area. There's cows and goats and stuff all over the place, and I don't know, but I ran home to get my camera. By the time I got back, they weren't there, and I can only imagine there was a little bit of persuasion pointed their direction, because the people around here, you step on their property, it's not with a big vegan banner or something, they're probably going to say, well, I don't want to pull a gun on you in front of your children, but...
Where are you? Where are you, son?
I'm in Southern California. I live near, this was on the area between, I don't know if you know where Chino is. Chino is famous for cows.
Oh yeah.
So I was driving basically through Chino to get to my house when that happened. So, and most of the people around here are pretty nice, but you know, you start some trouble, you know, it's not an area that I would not expect to get shot in if I was messing on somebody else's farm. I'd pretty much assume there's some buckshot headed my way. So,
Hey, is that area pro Newsom? Pro Gavin Newsom?
Oh,
I seriously doubt it. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't poll anybody, but you know, they tend to not like a lot of government regulation. So,
So we're talking about destinations for meat eating. I will say that I went to Uruguay a few years ago.
yeah.
We took bikes down there for a few months and rode up and down the coast. And it was my, before my carnivore days. And anytime you went to a restaurant and you'd order something, they would give you like they would mostly just give you a big slab of meat.
Really?
And there wouldn't be anything else on the plate. And we were like, well, what the hell? There's no there's no salad. We were kind of whining about it. There'd be like a little chimichurri, which is like a little sauce. But they're really into their meat. It would be a good carnivore convention place that way.
Uruguay, there we go. Well, Joe's been advocating for us to come to Australia because we get a good value for the dollar there right now.
Yeah, it's cheap. If you come here, it's
American dollars go a long ways right now. So
that sounds good.
yeah,
it's very cheap. Like you could come here on a budget and live like a king for a couple of weeks.
The only time I've been there, I've been to Sydney, and it was when the dollar was doing really well, and I could stay in really nice places for really cheap. I loved it.
Well, there was when all this all this virus stuff happened, when all this virus stuff happened, the Aussie dollar dropped to 50 cents. It's half. Yeah. So, and that's, then if I was to go to a bank and get some money converted, it's even less again than that. So they got to take their fee out of it. So
I wonder why that happened. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, at the moment it's sitting at about 65 cents. So the holiday at the moment is just in the background. But I will travel as soon as it gets a bit better. But talking about travel, two places I think would be carnival heaven. Spain, as mentioned before, and I've been there, so definitely. And Argentina. Argentina, famous for their beef.
Right.
So it'd be awesome to have a carnival convention there or carnival catch up.
Don't they have that big festival in Argentina where they cook the sides of beef on those giant skewers over open fires? Like, it's huge. Like 1,000 people show up for this, and they build fires on the ground, and they have the cows splayed on these like iron crosses over the fires, and then people just start eating meat. I haven't seen that. Come on, there's this thing called the internet. People put videos on it.
Mm-mm.
So yeah, just check it out. No, I've seen that, and I think if for a point of reference, I think Anthony Bourdain did an episode down there many years ago, and that looked fantastic. Yeah, they're really into their beef down there, and that's another population though. The Gauchos, that's their cowboys down there. They live. Sometimes those guys live almost entirely on beef. We probably haven't elevated them to the Maasai warrior sort of a level of cattlemanship, but they essentially do the same thing from horseback, right?
Yeah.
Living on beef.
Beef and whiskey, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Or wine. Maybe Argentina is probably wine.
I wonder if they got any jobs open. Beef and whiskey, huh?
Oh yeah, right. I know that they've got jobs in California open for contact tracing.
Oh, God.
Work from home, contact tracing.
Contact tracing, great.
Funny stuff. Funny stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Just hired 1,000 in Sonoma County.
so what's it like when you go to the supermarket, Brooke? Can you buy whatever you want, or are there restrictions?
You know, there are restrictions. You know, say Costco. I don't go to Costco very often. When I go, I usually just get a big primal. So you're allowed to have, you know, like I think 3 different kinds of meat. So you could get a giant
But you
primal.
can get only one roast at a time, right? That's all I could get. I was trying to get 2 roasts, but they wouldn't let me.
But then you could get like a roast pork and a roast beef.
Right.
Yeah. And so if you get the big, you know, if they have those, and then, but the price is a lot higher. And then at Safeway, it's just, you know, if this is like a big weekend, there should be like spare ribs and all kinds of things out there, but they didn't have a lot of choices. So sad.
How about you, Ray? Did you ever make it over to Costco to get another?
I did. I got a ribeye.
And what happened? And what was the price like?
So it went up just like you said. It was $11.99 a pound. Typically, I'm buying it for $8.50 a pound. So it went up.
Wow, that's good because it's probably more like 15 a pound here.
That kind of irked me, but I was expecting it because of what you said. So
that's still a good price.
No.
For right now.
Yeah. For right now, yeah.
Was that an individual cut ribeye or was that a big
roast?
slice?
Big roast.
Oh, the big roast, yeah.
Yeah, that's high at Costco.
So, yeah, for Costco.
Prime?
No. I wish.
Choice.
No, it was select.
Choice.
Choice. Yeah, choice.
Right.
Choice.
Get your FDA stamp correct, sir.
Yeah, choice. Right. Because they only have choice.
Safeway did have those porterhouse though last week I was talking about.
I forget. We don't have Safeway down here anymore. I'm trying to remember what chain that is.
Do you have Albertsons or something?
Yeah, we have Albertsons. I think Albertsons and Vaughn's merged or something.
And Safeway merged with someone else. Was it Lucky?
Yeah.
Or?
Lucky's is gone. I think Safeway and Vaughn's are together now. So we have Vaughn's. But then I think Vaughn's and Albertsons are under the same umbrella now too. They run the same ads. They run the same sales. So I assume they're owned by the same company now. It's crazy. No more Lucky's. Who are all those supermarkets that we used to know when we were kids, Alpha, Beta, and Lucky's and stuff like that? They're all gone now. Pantry.
Safeway are like, you know, they you know, they just worked through this COVID thing. It was like sometimes Safeway was the only place you could go outside of your house where, you know, you'd see people, and Safeway employees were just there doing overtime. And I was looking at some stats in Safeway, Target, and Walmart. They did not, and these people are with the public all day long, 24/7.
Yeah.
And they did not show an increase in COVID sicknesses.
Yeah, I like all that drama around the meat packers because basically, you know, a lot of those meat packing plants, there's thousands of people in one plant. A lot of those plants are staffed by like Somali immigrants, right? And these guys, not to be rude, but I mean, here in California, we call them clown houses. You guys know what a clown house is? You ever seen one of those little cars at the circus and the clowns keep getting out of it and you can't believe the clowns?
Yeah.
So here, a lot of times, immigrants come here and, you know, you got a house that's built for a single family, like 4 or 5 people, and there's 16 people living in there. That's why we call it a clown house, because like everybody gets up to go to work and it's just one person after another walking out. You're like, how many people live in that house? And that's the same thing. A lot of the immigrants, you know, move to areas where these meat packing plants were for jobs, you know, so they're not only just clustered together in the factory packing meat, but they're the same thing is going on at home. They're living in really close proximity to a lot of other people. So that's, you know, and that's why social distancing works. You know, you didn't have the social distancing in the big meat packing plants. And they certainly didn't have it at home. So that's probably one of the reasons why it spread so quickly. I mean, there's no connection between the meat itself and the COVID-19. So, and of course, the little packing plants for people, you know, you got a little one with 10 employees, they're not getting the COVID-19. It's just the big industrial ones. So, anyways, so the guys were talking about fasting earlier. You do any fasting, Brooke?
You know, I like fasting. I haven't been doing any lately, but every time I do it, I really enjoy it. And if I'm traveling or, you know, doing a lot of flying, then I think it's a great opportunity to just fast, or, you know, bring a steak, but then, you know, then you're between situations and you don't have time to set it. So just not eat. And my energy just goes up and everything feels like it's working well. And I think fasting is really a good thing. But I think it's really a good thing after after it's easy. You know, after you're already adapted. And
yeah. I think we'd all agree, especially when people are just getting started. You don't want to complicate things. You're better off just going carnivore and getting through that, and getting settled with that, making it a solid routine before you fast. But I think both Ray and Joe and I've noticed that, like, the thing to do is to consistently fast. And when I say fast, I think intermittent fasting is really the powerful tool. You know, you're just, you know, an eating window of, you know, 8 hours, or your intermittent feasting, you know, where you're eating one really big meal works for some people really well. I seem to think that, like, fasting for more than 24 hours tends to be fraught with problems for a lot more people. Certainly not everyone, but you tend to sort of get into sketchy ground there. People's metabolisms will really slow down and stuff like that. So, what's the longest you fasted, Brooke?
Probably like 3 days. I think maybe 4 days. But you know, for me, it's like, I don't want to lose muscle mass at all,
right,
and I don't want to like trigger hair loss, because that happened.
Hair loss.
Okay.
Yeah, that happened 2 years ago when I just, you know, wasn't even eating. I was like 100 pounds or something, you know, right before I went carnivore. I was at keto, and Mark was dying, and I lost like so much hair. You know, it still hasn't really all grown back.
It can happen.
Yeah, so I don't.
Particularly women seem to have that happen even more than men. It's unfortunate.
Yeah. So it's not really worth it for me so much, and I think intermittent fasting is like has such a great effect.
Yeah, you got to know why you're doing it or why you want to do it, and then you can figure out how long. You know, because it's really hard to preserve muscle if you fast for more than 24 hours. So if you don't want to lose muscle, you got to be very careful if you're going to fast more than 24 hours. So.
But fasting with, you know, carnivore diet is so good, you know, because I remember, you know, decades ago when I would be fasting on, like, people would do juice fasts. You're fasting and drinking fruit juice, which is like the worst, you know, really.
Right. But you got to cleanse, man. You need some greens to cleanse out the demons, right?
Gotta have that lemon.
Gotta have that lemon.
Maple syrup thing.
Yeah, every time I hear somebody talk about lemon or apple cider vinegar, it's like they've got some new organ that'll clean out your liver, your kidneys, your eyeballs. It's like, what? Apple cider vinegar and lemon juice makes the world go round.
Yeah.
So.
You know that Dr. Berg is still, you know, when I started keto, and there was like Dr. Berg, you know, on online, and you listen to him or whatever. He's still, this is a few years later, I thought maybe he would I don't know, catch on, but he still talks about those mountains of cruciferous vegetables.
7 to 10 cups, 7 to 10 cups of vegetables and protein the size of your palm. But you can buy all my electrolytes, all my supplements, all my everything, all my powders. Everything's there at a premium.
Right on that big board that he has.
Yep.
God bless him. But yeah,
But I mean, I think everyone who's done keto has followed him at some stage. You know, I know that I did.
yeah.
You know, I would drink my apple cider vinegar and I'd do everything. I'd watch all his videos. You know, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd still be in bed with one eye open. I'd be trying to watch one of his videos. It was just, and then you realize maybe everything he's saying is bullshit.
But he usually sounded pretty jivey, you know. He'd have the book out. He'd say, well, I read here in this book. But
And yeah, not every one of his videos is off base, but you know,
That's true.
clearly, I think as accomplished carnivores, we realize he's part of the ilk of people that thinks you're supposed to eat all these plants.
Yeah.
Most of us are like, yeah. I tend to think that when it comes to eating foods from plants, it's really how much you can tolerate. And perhaps if you had some sort of, you know, special circumstance, maybe there's some plants that are helpful, but in general, they're not. You know, they're fraught with danger.
I mean, I used to eat all those green things. I used to eat,
Sure.
I was the queen of kale.
But you couldn't eat that
Yeah.
plant right next to you, could you?
I wonder if this one's poisonous.
Probably.
I mean, acutely poisonous.
95% of all plants are.
Aren't they?
Yeah.
Although I am cooking with a little bit, like a little bit of like herbs.
You're using
Yeah.
herbs.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
And maybe like some spring onions. Your wild onions grow
He
around
was
here.
never carnivore. Just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fake.
It's really, you know, it's really nice to just bring in. I mean, I think plants are probably best used as in that way.
Yeah.
Not to eat them, like a bowl of them, but just as a
When you think about it, cooking and all this preparation with all these seasonings is really just about making your food taste like something else. You know, so when you sit down and you eat some meat, even, you know, I'm not saying people need to run out and eat raw, but I know me and Ray have eaten plenty of raw steak, and we eat plenty of raw steak just plain, and it tastes fantastic.
Great. Yeah. No salt, nothing.
Well, I still really like salt though.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
Sure.
you on my
I like salt too. I don't eat it every time, but
Yeah.
I like salt. Sometimes it's like, oh, salt sounds good. And I cook, like I cooked a steak this morning. I'm probably going to go cook one right now. And I'll probably put some salt on it, but maybe not. I don't know.
right. Maybe not. Right.
It's nice just to eat it raw when it's soft. You just get, like in the car when you just had gone to the grocery store and you're hungry and you just eat.
One hand on the wheel, the other one on the steak.
There you go.
Yeah, I took a picture. I was driving my car and I had a steak on my steering wheel. I took a picture and I put real fast food. And of course, somebody's like, "You're gonna get your steering wheel all greasy." You know, I'm like, I'm a pro. Don't worry, there's no grease on my steering wheel.
We should come look at your house, right? It's like,
Right. I mean, if you can eat a hamburger while you're driving, why the hell can't you eat a raw steak?
That's right.
People eat Coke and fries and burger while they're driving all the time.
Yeah.
Steak is much easier. Much easier. So what do you typically eat, Brooke?
sorry?
Say that again, Ray.
I said, especially if you cut it up.
Mm-hmm. What do you typically eat, Brooke? You eat steak, you eat chicken, you eat pork, you eat...
I don't eat chicken usually. I mean, chicken, I made some chicken, stuff for that carnivore cooking meeting on Wednesdays at 11 for Meet RX.
Mm.
I always feel like I have to do
Nice plug.
Yeah, good plug. I always feel like I have to do something other than, what I usually eat is a steak. But I can't just make a steak each time, although I do that a lot of the time. And so I'll make, other things, but really, chicken, except that I really do enjoy using chicken as a crust. To make different
I have to try that.
Your carnivore pizza and your chaffles. Yes.
Yeah, chicken as a crust for the pizza and chicken as a crust for a quiche. It's great. It's really good. But
chicken
really,
as a crust.
I'd really rather just do a steak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's kind of hard to try and do anything complicated once you just enjoy steak. You're like, just whack off a steak off this roast right here and eat it. Right? What could be better?
Sometimes I get into a ground beef thing. And that's cool too. That's like, wow, I'll like eat I'll eat ground beef for a couple days and think, oh my God, I forgot how easy and nice ground beef is, but, and then I go back to,
I
steaks.
was I was looking at this pie chart the other day. It showed how much chicken Americans eat compared to beef and pork and everything else. The amount of chicken people eat dwarfs the other meats. I mean, dwarfs it. I don't remember what the ratio, but let's say like 60, 70, 75% of all the meat is chicken. And then the irony is the longer people are carnivore, it seems like the less chicken they want to eat. Don't find it satisfying, stop finding it particularly appealing. How much chicken do you eat, Joe?
Not much at all. Very rare. I even stopped eating pork. It just it would upset my stomach, and I found that with chicken, if I ate some chicken, it was like, okay, I'm not satisfied. I need to keep eating, and so I would pretty much just go to the fridge, and my wife would say, "What are you doing? You've just had chicken." I said, "I'm going to cook myself a steak." Cook that steak. I'm like, "Yeah, okay, happy now."
We finally got Joe to eat some kangaroo because I wouldn't shut up. I was like, hey, when are you going to eat some kangaroo? Oh,
So,
get some at the market one of
how
these
was
days.
it?
It was nice. It was a little bit, it's very lean, very, very lean. A little bit gamey.
Because it's a rodent, isn't it?
That's a herbivore, right? It just
Is
eats
it?
grass,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But isn't it in
that's
the
it.
rodent family?
Oh,
No?
I wouldn't know. I don't think so. No, it's a marsupial. It's not a.
Okay, like a lemur.
But it's no. Put it this way: I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it. Okay. It wasn't that it was bad. It's just that I think I'm so used to eating beef, and I do like seafood as well. I like oysters and prawns and some fish. I prefer. I'll get that stuff before I bought kangaroo.
The irony is that people go on and on about, grass finished and grain finished and about the omegas, the right balance of the omegas. And then they eat chicken, and you just throw that right out the window then, because now they're just all like omega-6s. They're way off now.
Same with pork, isn't it? Isn't pork higher in omega-6?
Mm-hmm.
So I think from memory, I remember hearing that somewhere, but.
Oh, but okay, so I have to share this. Okay, so I pretty much eat beef all the time, right? And beef's great. It's a ruminant. We all know the whole mystery of the ruminant and what it does in its stomach and how it delivers us this great product. So I was making like a crust or something at that carnivore cooking meeting, and I had this turkey because I was at Costco one of those times they were out of meat, and I bought like turkey and ground turkey, which isn't something I usually do. And so I made this whole turkey thing. And I was making a soup. That was it. I was making like this Thai style soup with bone broth and some aromatics, and you could use any ground meat. And I used turkey because I had this turkey. And so afterwards, I haven't eaten, and so that would be my first meal of the day. So I just ate that. So I ate this turkey, and I just freaking slept for the whole day. The tryptophan, it totally I fell asleep. I was like tired and groggy and sleepy the rest of the day because of the tryptophan. And I realized, okay, there are all these different properties in all these different meats, and just like in plants and in herbs. And I thought I really need to figure that out, because turkey would be great if you couldn't sleep at night, and to use it in the evening, because I just fell asleep. I mean, it was terrible for the day. And then pork is really high in thiamine, and so certain B vitamins, if you were short on those, maybe pork would be good for you. Some people love pork. I don't, but some people love it. And then beef is really high in was that CLA or whatever, so it's really good for depression. I think it's really good for lifting the mood. And so I recognize that each meat, all the different meats have different properties. And so I really want to kind of delve into that more, about the different properties of meat.
Right.
Can I ask you a question, Brooke? Do you eat eggs?
I do eat eggs. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I have
The
chickens.
whole, the whole egg, or you just have the yolk?
I eat the whole egg. Raw, I just eat the egg yolk raw. But I eat the whole egg usually cooked or poached. I poached eggs, so it's a runny
Yep.
yolk. Do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
eat eggs?
I used to, and I think as my journey's gone on, I've noticed that I can't really, that they upset my stomach as well.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how I cook them. So I mean, I could fry them sunny side up or easy over easy. You know, I can hard boil them. It makes no difference. They seem to upset my stomach.
What about
So
raw?
haven't tried raw. Haven't tried raw.
Raw egg yolk.
Raw egg yolk or just the
Raw egg yolk.
yolk.
So
Or-
I mean,
And do you know if you tried whether the eggs were, like if you buy commercial eggs, they're usually soy fed.
no. The ones I get are biodynamic and pasteurized. So if I buy eggs here at the supermarket, they're like $3 for a dozen. And again, this is Australian dollars. These are $12 a dozen. And they're really expensive. They're high quality egg.
There's some crazy regeneratively raised eggs from some ranch not too far from LA. And I think those eggs, they sell for like $26 a dozen or something.
What?
And they can't make enough of them. Like people are willing to pay like an insane amount of money for like just these top-notch chicken eggs, free range.
I hear people talk about those egg fasts. On Instagram, some people they're on an egg fast for like a week or something.
All they eat is eggs.
Dozens of eggs, and I always think that's the way to get an egg allergy.
Could be interesting, maybe. I don't know. I don't eat them because they seem to aggravate my psoriasis. They seem to trip up my immune system. So I could eat some yolk, but.
What about you, Ray? Do you eat eggs?
No, I get a little inflamed on that, so I give up eggs a little while back.
Even raw yolk.
I've not tried that. So raw yolk might actually irritate me. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I try not. I don't use a lot of them, but because I really like to, I kind of see every meal as an opportunity to get like the best.
There you go.
So I want to eat beef.
I love how you think.
Ray has his own chickens.
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah.
So you guys are both chicken raisers, huh?
I mean, a lot of people.
I don't have many though. I don't have very many.
Well, me neither. It's only like we have 11 now because we have 11 now because they died from predators. We had 15 initially.
Yeah, a snake, had a big old black snake in his chicken coop.
Yeah.
Did you?
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
How big?
6 feet
God.
long.
Super long. Yeah, super long. He was about as tall as I'm standing. He's probably two more feet longer than I am. So probably 8 feet long. Yeah.
So he's eating the eggs.
A black snake. Yeah, a black.
He's probably not eating the chickens, but he's eating the eggs.
Yeah. He's after the eggs, not the chickens. Yeah. So
Huh?
You got a snake.
I should have ate it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did it taste? You didn't eat it?
I didn't have the heart to kill it.
God damn it!
I pulled it by its tail, and put him in a box, and then threw him next to the river. Beautiful snake. Beautiful snake. It would have been good eating though. Man, I should have thought of that then.
Yeah, you wouldn't do that here, right? Snakes are. No,
I understand that.
Yeah. Like we've got the 3 deadliest snakes in the world. Most poisonous, not deadliest, the most poisonous are here in Australia.
Is it the black mamba?
No. We've got the inland taipan, the brown snake, and the death adder.
So if you ate them, you could actually hurt yourself real bad because of the venom, or what?
If you could get one of them, look, I don't think so, but you wouldn't want to try and you wouldn't want to get close to them because they're aggressive.
They're aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. I saw one once riding up a hill, and I shit myself. I flew up the hill. It was a 4K climb, and I absolutely flew up there. Shit myself. It was a death adder hidden underneath all the shrubs.
Mm.
Yeah.
Was it chasing you?
No, it wasn't. But I'm scared of snakes.
Just
So
eyeballing him.
I got out of there quick.
There's a mad dog in him.
But when you say they're aggressive, they will come at you, right? See, this black snake didn't touch me at all.
Yeah, so my uncle, he's got a farm. He's been chased by a snake, and he ran into his truck, closed the door, and the snake's gone bang straight to the door.
Damn.
That was by King Brown.
Yeah.
That was a King Brown.
Yeah.
We have rattlesnakes here. Most of them rattle, but a lot of them, the rattles don't work anymore. They're like going through some sort of mutation where their rattles aren't clearly formed. So those are a little more dangerous because you're more likely to step on them because you don't know they're there. But that's kind of the handy thing about rattlesnakes. Most of the time.
But you know what?
Yeah, but they attack more people than anyone else in the world from memory.
Right.
Because there's the most poisonous and there's the deadliest.
Right.
The deadliest doesn't necessarily mean it's the most poisonous snake. It just means that it's an aggressive son of a bitch.
The school I went to, I think one semester we had 6 students got bit by rattlesnakes on the same patio right outside the cafeteria.
Oh wow!
I was told by a biologist about the rattlesnakes. You know, for a while people were catching rattlesnakes so much for that rattle. And so it became dangerous because the ones that survived then didn't really have much rattle ability, which is awful, like you said, because then you don't have that warning. So it's really
people collect the rattles. So, and they make boots out of the skins and stuff, like their belts and stuff. So.
We have them up here, a lot of rattlesnakes.
Yeah, a lot of people here, like they won't kill them or anything, especially if they're not in your yard. I mean, if they bite your dog or something, it's very serious. And if they bite a person, you got to go to the hospital. It's not like you just stay home and sweat it out. You got to go because you might die. So, actually, like Loma Linda University, we're always talking about the Seventh-day Adventists and all that, but Loma Linda University Hospital, I think it is. That's the place to go when you get bit because they got all the anti-venom for the snakes and the spiders and scorpions and stuff there. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of in an area where there's that?
Because of their location.
Yeah. So that and probably like the hospital in Palm Springs or something, because out in the deserts you get lots of rattlesnakes and sidewinders, and I think the sidewinder is probably the coolest snake I've ever seen. But there is another snake I've seen a couple times. I've seen it in the desert here, and I saw one in Mexico, and they're metallic maroon colored. They look like something out of a hallucination. I couldn't believe it was a real snake, and they're big. And the first time I saw one was in the desert, not too far from here, and it was slithering around, and it was real shiny red, dark red, like it looked almost like automotive paint. And then lo and behold, I was in Mexico. We were driving down to San Felipe or something, and one went across the highway, and you couldn't miss it because it's in the sun, and it glints really bright red. So I don't know,
almost like one of those coral snakes. Then
yeah, coral.
Could be.
Oh, those sea snakes, coral snakes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, of course, could be like it, not it, because it's on land in the middle of the desert. But yeah, snakes are pretty cool. Yeah, most people leave rattlesnakes alone because they keep all the rodents down. They eat take care of the rats and the gophers and stuff like that.
I like snakes. It's just rats I don't like.
I don't like
With
rats.
chickens, you get rats and they freak me out.
Well, I think the chickens, they eat rats, don't they?
A chicken will eat all kinds of things.
If it can get it.
I mean, if you kill it for them.
Right, you can kill it for them.
You got to kill it for my sake. Yeah, my cousin would tell me, oh yeah, it just throws the rat or the mouse in there, and the chickens just tear it apart. So.
Wow, those are great chickens. It's a good
But
chicken.
the raccoons try to steal my cousin's chicken. My cousin lives over closer to Los Angeles than I do, and the raccoons break into the coop and grab the chickens and try and eat them. So
They're the worst. The raccoons are the worst. They don't even eat the whole chicken. They just kill the chicken, eat some blood,
Yeah,
and then they kill
raccoons.
another
Yeah.
chicken. They'll just kill them all.
Yeah.
And just leave the bodies there. Murder.
Right.
Murder.
So they'll eat the head, which is weird.
Yeah.
And
They'll
then
just have to suck the blood, and then they'll just go to the next one.
Yeah.
And, you know, if it's at night, chickens are just sleeping.
chicken suckers.
that's how we lost a few of them from just that.
Chup de pollo.
That's raccoon. I mean, at least foxes will take the whole chicken away and feed it to the family.
I was wondering, is that the chickens? I mean, is that raccoons or possums? So I couldn't figure out which one.
Raccoon.
Was so
Possum.
will do that.
I know possums will eat rodents, so we
Yeah,
like the possum. We have a lot of possums around here. The possums are you sit out back, they run down the walls through the housing tract like that's their super highway, running from fruit tree to fruit tree. And
I always felt sorry for possum.
I know.
yeah, I do too. But now I like them. I think I'm gonna dress up like a possum for Halloween. In fact,
See that? They're big tick eaters.
oh,
That's what I
Good.
heard. Anyways, yeah, possums are great.
Are they big over there? Because I mean, we've got a lot of possums here in Sydney. Believe it or not.
yeah.
Even in the city centre, they're around there.
They're about the size of a small cat.
Okay. Yeah, the same. Oh, I mean, we've got some here that are the size of a big cat.
Okay, all right.
A large,
have-
not a tiger or a lion, but
I
a
take
larger kind of.
I take
household
pictures
cat.
of them all the time because they'll be on the wall and my dog will run over and bark at him and it freezes, and so I run over.
It's just dangerous.
That's
And
right.
then they have other babies.
Yeah.
They're probably like the body's probably about 18 inches long on a big one.
And their babies will be all on top of them. It's
Yeah. It's so
I
funny.
haven't gotten a picture of one carrying the babies. I've seen pictures of them, but the ones I see are usually running solo. So
Yeah, I kind of feel they just seem so vulnerable.
if I'm not mistaken, the ones in North America they call them possums, and then the ones in Australia has an O in front, right? That you don't pronounce. It's an opossum, but you say the O.
Oh,
The only time you say opossum is when you run over it. Oh, possum. That's it. No, I don't know. I've no idea.
Yeah, we were talking about Australia's famous critters, and I was saying there was that one jellyfish that always impressed me. I should look that up.
Well, we've got the blue ring octopus, which they'll kill you. It's poisonous. We've got the box jellyfish, the irukandji jellyfish, the bull shark, the hammerheads, the great whites. Australia it's really, as beautiful as it is, it can be quite a dangerous place. Kangaroos are also very aggressive.
Yeah, I was reading about kangaroos because we were talking about it earlier, and they were saying that a large male can be 6'7" tall. I don't know. That's like
Same as Scotty Pippen.
God, that's
2 meters, 2 meters tall and
Really
200
huge.
pounds.
It's like Sean Baker
I know, right?
jumping up and down. So, but
don't
they
think I
don't go. But they're shy, aren't they? Aren't kangaroos kind of shy?
They are, but if they're threatened, they're very aggressive. Like you'll see videos of them attacking people. I mean, obviously it's not because they feel threatened, and just like anything. But yeah, I mean, they've got really razor sharp claws. I mean, they use their tail, so they'll lean back on their tail and they'll kick with their feet. They're very strong animals, very, very strong, and they can be quite large as well.
There's a big tail. That would be a lot of eating there on that tail. You'd have to slow cook it though. You'd have to cook that really slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big muscle.
Excellent. All right, guys. Well, we had a good little chat. Do you guys want to throw anything else up before we wrap it up?
It's Memorial Day weekend. Just want to say that.
Right.
Memorial Day weekend. I got my ribeyes on Memorial Day sale.
Steak. Yeah, I'm gonna be having some tomorrow.
Yeah, there wasn't any good sales that I saw, but
You got any holidays coming up in Australia there, Joe?
Not at the moment. I mean, we only get a long weekend every now and then, but no, not. I mean, not that I can think of.
I'm not even sure if I'm working tomorrow. One day just kind of bleeds into the next when you're doing this work from home thing. I was trying to remember when I started working from home. I can't even remember. I have to write down, when I did stuff because I can't remember from one day to the next. Did I do that today or did I do that yesterday? One day.
Every day feels the same, doesn't it?
My girlfriend was like, "You don't work tomorrow." I'm like, "Are you sure?" I don't know if I do.
Monday's a holiday.
Well, we don't take we don't take as many holidays as a lot of people at where I work, so I'm not sure.
Where do you work?
I work for a little engineering company in Covina, so real little. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm phoning in or not.
Raymond, you look like Elon Musk with that background and the shape of the head and face. You kind of look like Mr. Musk.
Who?
The
Elon
Tesla
Musk.
guy, Elon Musk.
Oh, Elon Musk. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Doesn't he? Doesn't it kind of like blur your eyes and he kind of looks like planting stuff up there in outer space.
Yes. All right then.
Good
Have a good. What's that?
Very good to see you all.
Good seeing you too.
Likewise.
Thanks for joining us. That was awesome.
Hopefully we won't be locked up too much longer. And happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Brooke.
Our ageless friend, whose age we have no idea what it could be.
That looking great no matter what.
It's all like online anyway. It's like there's no secrets. Nobody has any secrets.
No, not really. There aren't really any secrets left.
No.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Have a good Memorial Day out there. Eat lots of meat. Feel better. And whatever you do, don't fall down the carb hole.
Carb hole.
Carb hole. Okay.
Carb hole. Hey, and like and subscribe. Leave some comments, everybody. Take care.
Bye all.